weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hey, just so you know, we're rolling.
Yeah, I'm a little busy right at the moment.
I see that. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon. I think that's Matt, but he's a little busy. He looks very intense right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get shit posted to the Weaponized Sloth page. And I'm having some issues with Facebook.
Aren't we all? When are we not having issues with some sort of social media? Oh, crap. Oh, so yeah, it seems to be kind of our thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have a whole lot to get through tonight, but we're going to get through some stuff. We're going to be obviously talking about the president and a few other things that are going on in the world right now, like the Darrell Brooks trial and a few other things. And I'm just stalling so I can finish up what he's doing.
You know, it wouldn't be that bad if every time you go to post something, it doesn't ask you 50 million questions like, do you want to boost your post?
Right.
Do you want to do this?
Exactly.
I'm like, no, I just want you to fucking post it.
We did the boosting post thing. It doesn't work. It says, oh, it'll reach up to 800 more people. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't at all.
It's pretty good.
They just pocket the money and screw with the algorithm anyway.
Yeah.
There he is. He finally decided to join us. It's nice of him.
Yeah, that's because I'm not actually speaking into the mic like I am now. Somebody said they couldn't hear me, and I'm like, yeah, it's because I was trying to get my shit done.
Yeah, he wasn't near the microphone. That's kind of hard to do so. And by the way, the chat's on the wrong side of the screen. That's why I keep looking over with my, looking to that direction because it's not where it should be right now. We don't know why it decided to do what it did. Anyhow, I guess, first up, I mean, everybody knows who that piece of shit is, that Darrell Brooks. He's the, for those of you who don't know, which would be odd, he's the guy up in Waukesha, Wisconsin that drove his SUV through a group of, basically through a parade and killed a bunch of people. And apparently he's representing himself.
Yeah. He has no clue what the fuck he's doing.
You know what? He might know exactly what he's doing. I think he's trying to play the insanity defense. Because remember, those who represent themselves, basically have a fool for a client.
And by golly, I am that fool. Oh.
But this is the newest 1 minute clip that we got from him in the courtroom. You got to hear this.
The defense would like to call the plaintiff, state of Wisconsin, to the stand.
Your Honor, I object. The objection is noted. It is sustained. Call your next witness, please.
Reason for the sustain?
Not relevant. And you haven't named a person to go along with it.
The subpoena was accepted, Your Honor.
I'll take the issue up outside the presence of the jury if necessary. Call your next witness, please.
Well, I would like to make an oral tennis motion to dismiss for failure to appear by the plaintiff and for failure to state a claim from which relief can be granted.
I will take that up outside the presence of the jury. Next witness, please.
So is the state not present?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to address that any further while the jury's present. I'll take that up outside their presence. Call your next witness, please.
Yeah, so that's Darrell Brooks trying to defend himself. He thinks that if, it says the state of Wisconsin on the paper, you literally have to have the state of Wisconsin standing there. Apparently he doesn't know that the people on the other side of the aisle there that are sitting there in their suits with the, with the paperwork and stuff like that are the representatives of the state of Wisconsin. And what pisses me off is that since he is, basically representing himself, you should see what he's doing to the victims, because they're being called in as witnesses, and he gets to cross-examine them. He's making them live through the trauma all over again.
Yeah,
and he's being allowed to do it. I mean, he's allowed to his defense. It's not going to work, but the fact that he's allowed to to belittle the people that lost their family members that day, that's mind-boggling. Yeah, you thinking about this about as hard as I am?
Yeah, I really don't know what to say. That's the thing.
I mean, like I said, he's representing himself, so he's definitely got a fool for a client. But he obviously has no law background or nothing else like that. So this is not going to go well for him at all. He's going to get his ass handed to him. I mean, for crying out loud, that guy literally just tried to ask for the state of Wisconsin to stand there. So, right, that's what I said. I said he might be trying to play the insanity defense, and this is why he's going the way he is. But unfortunately, for him, I don't think it's going to work, because I've been paying attention to the trial, not like I did with the with the other one, but I've been watching bits and pieces of it, and no, he's not going to try and weasel his way out of this one and end up in a psych ward. He's going to prison.
Yeah, it could turn around and bite him in the ass too, where he may not make it out alive from the courtroom.
Right.
They may just end up shooting him.
Think I heard something. Or better. He must be talking about you.
Well, he just got on, so.
Gotcha. I mean, personally, I think they should have just took him outside and, gave him a swift, quick trial. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hard enough for a lawyer themselves, a well-seasoned lawyer, to mount a defense for him. And he's trying to do it himself. Think about that. It would be it's going to be exceedingly hard for him to think that this is going to, to make this work. It's impossible, is what it is.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I had any more on him, actually, but I don't know if I did. I am going to see if I can find some more on him, actually. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. He cried during the opening statement.
He cried during the opening statement.
Mm-hmm. See here. I think it's fake. I think he did it, for sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants my sympathy, he can look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. But says it happened today too. Prosecutors on Thursday rested their case in the Darrell Brooks trial, charged in November 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade. I remember I was up there. I was literally right, like a couple miles away when it happened. The state called 57 witnesses to testify over the 2 weeks of the presentation of prosecutors. Holy shit. After the prosecution rested, the court took its lunch to break for the day. Immediately following the break, Brooks cried as he delivered his deferred opening statement to the jury. Let me see. Let's go down.
I think the best that he can hope for is that he doesn't get
the chair.
The chair, yeah.
Absolutely. It says, as court began Thursday, Jennifer Duro noted she gave Brooks an excerpt from her judicial bench book on opening statements that she believed would be helpful to provide to Mr. Brooks as he puts together his opening statement. She said his document contained references to Supreme Court rules, case law, manner and purpose, scope, etc., for his opening statement, which the judge could help him to establish his roadmap framework so the jury can better understand his evidence. What evidence?
The evidence that he did it.
Well, you see, I just went through this barricade and drove over a bunch of children and thought it was fun and then went home. I mean, piece of shit. She noted that his opening statement would be based on the law and evidence you believe is properly admissible. She said his opening statement must not contain reference to subject matter jurisdiction, something Brooks brought up multiple times every day during the trial. Right, I remember hearing some of that. Let's see. Trying to figure out. Okay, I don't understand what that is either. It says the court then addressed a motion to Waukesha County District Attorney Sue Opper said was served on Brooks Wednesday night in jail. Brooks said he did not look at the document. I accept the value and in return for the value of the document, said Brooks. I don't know what I'm supposed to say on that. Yeah. In the motion, prosecutors moved to amend the information regarding location of count 76, which read at Frame Park. Prosecutors asked to change it to near Frame Park. The particular count relates to the fight prosecutors say Brooks was involved in with his ex-girlfriend, Erica Patterson, before the Christmas parade attack. Prosecutors argued this change would be more in line with Patterson's testimony. So, okay, I think I get what he's trying to do there. They say, well, it was at the park. No, it wasn't at the park. It was just near the park. So he's still admitting that he fucking did something stupid before he did something horrific. You know what?
Yeah, he's on trial for 76 criminal offenses and faces a mandatory life sentence if convicted of the 6 first-degree intentional homicide accounts.
Yeah. Let's see. He was actually trying to call Patterson as a witness. What, as a witness that he was fighting with her before he decided to go mow down a whole family?
But he's trying to use that as like, you know, an okay reason of why he did that.
Right. Yeah, Ben says capital punishment. Absolutely. You know damn well it will be. Sorry, Sean, I'm behind on catching up with the chat rooms. You want to read that?
Yeah, Sean says, listener Sean says, he hasn't been following any of the trial since it's been a complete circus, a senseless use of court time that will draw things out into an appeal.
And he's right. And that's exactly that's why I said I haven't really been paying all that much attention to it, just enough. And that's exactly why, because it is being a circus. Let's see. And garbage. Man, this is a long one, too. Brooks prepares for counter plea offer.
So apparently the state showed a music video to the jury in which Brooks appears next to his red Ford Escape. And the motherfucker think he's like a rapper or something.
That one right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't see a lot of this. Well, I'm not going to... Guys, I'm not going to read all of this. There's no way. Not going to happen. We'd be here all night. I'm barely even scratching the surface. Let's see, Jay. I'm trying to find some of this. I don't know if there's anything else that we really want to mention that... Yeah, I'm not gonna read through all that. It's all the witness statements and his ex-girlfriend or not ex-girlfriend's roommate. I'm sorry, among other things. And Yeah, I just don't feel like reading through all of it. I mean, this is like 20 pages worth
It's
of
just
stuff.
sad that he's trying to validate it through having an argument with his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, we don't expect him to do the honorable thing, which is, tell everybody, hey, I did this.
Mm-hmm.
There's evidence of it, so. Yeah, so that's going to be a waste of our time. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. But the only reason why I brought that up is because I want to show everybody exactly what kind of defense that this walking rectum is actually trying to pull, and where he's definitely wrong in it. What?
So I'm looking at it, the article I had pulled up. I'm looking at him going over his papers, and sitting next to him is the Holy Bible. I'm like, what a shitbag.
Well, he's got to make himself look a little bit better. Mm-hmm. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna find a song and we're just gonna go to break because I'm not gonna read 20 pages. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. Of course, if I can find anything I actually want to play. Oh, this kind of fits. All right, we'll be right back.
I can only count to 4. 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 5 us? Who are you?
I am the machine.
What?
I'm the machine!
Okay!
You are listening to The Machine Radio Show.
Not your daddy's conservative talk radio.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the machine! Fuck that bitch. This is Tonight you party with us, yes?
Okay! Yeah! Yeah! Ah, skate, 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 skate!
And we're back, and I do believe we got some more audio bites. I'm going to save the other one for a little bit later, though, because that's gonna be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just start with good old CNN. CNN honestly thinks that this clip that we got is some sort of gotcha, and it kind of falls flat. It's basically flat out stupid. It's not what they think it is. Let's put it that way.
And at times, he thinks he can impress him by telling him about classified information.
Okay, remember that. She said classified information, that he's going to tell him about classified information and talk about the former president. The claim is he's telling right now about classified information.
Go.
I have built a weapons system that nobody's ever had in this country before. We have stuff that you haven't even seen or heard about. We have stuff that Putin and Xi have never heard about before.
Okay, can you tell me where that's classified? He doesn't even say what kind of system it is,
he
nothing.
Doesn't describe anything. He doesn't name it.
It could be a new grenade, a new howitzer, a new tank, a fancy tracker bullet or some shit. You know, they don't know what the fuck it is. So there's that.
Getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing, all right? Especially because they have 1,332 nuclear fucking warheads.
The fact that he says fucking warheads.
That sold it for me. They have 1,332 nuclear fucking warheads. And he's not lying.
Yeah.
And one of the reasonings behind getting along with them, aside from that, was the economics thing, because we do get a lot of stuff from them. We get a lot of stuff from China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CNN's very, 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 very special.
It's funny that the relationships I have, the tougher and meaner they are, the better I get along with them. You'll explain that to me someday, okay? But maybe it's not a bad thing. The easy ones are the ones I maybe don't like as much or don't get along with as much.
So just to clarify, Woodward was never able to verify whether this system exists, but he uses it as an example, and there are many throughout the audiobooks, of how Trump's national security advisors, their heads are exploding.
No, it seems like your head's the ones that are exploding, because, did you hear the end of that there, where she said, well, we can verify any of these systems that he's talking about? Well, if they're classified, how would you fucking verify them in the first place?
Right. Sean put in here, he's like, is this real?
yeah. Unfortunately, Sean, this is real. That is CNN trying to get a gotcha going. Yeah, he's talking about classified information, but we haven't been able to verify the system, so obviously not.
Like the guy on Scanners.
Yeah. Yeah, where his head blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what they've been doing as of lately. This was one of many CNN clips that I'd heard of in recent times, but this was my favorite. Just because you had the former president, nuclear fucking weapons. That was worth it. That made that clip worth it to me. Other than the fact that it's fun to poke fun at CNN, but then again, they make it so easy. We've been doing that for years, and they don't make it hard on us at all. I mean, basically watching any amount of CNN is like making one-liners over and over and over again. especially when you catch them in lies, like we did with the Zimmerman trial and stuff like that. You know, it was well, in the the fiery, mostly peaceful protesting. You know, they got busted for when I mentioned it, Zimmerman trials, because they got busted for editing the audio to make him sound racist, and they labeled him a white Hispanic.
Yeah, that one I never could understand.
Yeah, I was like, so would that make Obama a white African?
Yeah,
but he gets to choose the latter, so that way he can become the first black president. That reminds me of our now vice president. You know, the first female black this, but it was the first female Asian this. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, wait a minute, what is she then? Because they kept saying she was the first this and first that. I'm like, really? She is what? Which one is it? Holy shit!
What the fuck is she?
She's a chameleon. Skinwalker, maybe?
You'll never know.
Yes, a Wafrican. But no, they actually said that. They're like, he's a white Hispanic, and as soon as me and Matt were sitting there watching the newsfeed, and we're like, what? What the fuck was that? Like, I took a look at him. I was like, I brought up a photo of him. I was like, does that look like a white dude? Not even close. But they're, like I said, they're no stranger to editing things to make them sound completely different than what they actually are. They've been really good at that over the last, I'd say 8 years.
We mentioned something about skinwalkers, and listener Sean says, I just learned of that family buying the Skinwalker Ranch.
Just now?
Yeah.
Oh man, you gonna fill in on that one? You know more about that than I do. I just thought it was funny.
Well, Skinwalker Ranch has a lot of paranormal shit going on with it.
Yeah, but does it have two-legged crazy dogs walking around and stuff? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what they were claiming, that they're seeing dogs standing up on their back legs and running across fields and shit. Like this week. Oh no, he popped something else in there. I didn't see it.
What was that? Oh, it's from Twitter at Ilhan. It says, no, we should not be selling weapons to human rights abusers like Saudi Arabia, period. I'm confused.
But some people did something.
And then he's like, there you go. All manner of oddities.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go there too. I really do.
I wouldn't mind visiting the place.
That does seem like something interesting to do. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm trying to find some of these other ones. Yeah, of course, this is not going to pop up. So I'm going to have to go somewhere else here. Let's try. Yeah, CNN caught airing doctored photo of Joe Biden. CNN got caught doctoring Trump photos, Bernie Sanders photos, George Zimmerman. CNN. Let's see. Wow, the list just keeps going. CNN caught harassing election workers during Arizona audit. Wow, that's nuts. I mean, I knew there was a lot, but I mean, look at this, Matt. I've hit the key 3 times, and it keeps popping up with new pages, and they're all different. CNN forced to apologize for doctoring violent Milwaukee protests. Deceptively altering video of Joe Rogan. Holy shit. It just keeps going. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. I just clicked on like 6 different web, the search pages, and it just keeps going. And each one is a different story about what CNN has doctored in one way, shape, or form. Good call, CNN. What was CNN's tagline again? Wasn't it most trusted news source or some shit?
Something like that.
Yeah, the most trusted news source. I don't think anybody actually trusts them, but hey, that's just me. Uh-oh. Sean's dropping some stuff. Yeah, he's dropped a couple big ones.
Well, that one I think is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, you can go ahead and say it though, because that'll probably be one of our next things.
He says something about, speaking of Muslims, good for them for standing up for themselves in Dearborn for that school having dirty books on the shelves for kids. Never thought we would be side by side on many issues.
Right.
And then the other one is, I think, a tweet.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
It's Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
Has been a voice of reason across party lines. She is courageously speaking her mind and showing us all what it means to be leading independent thinker. I am honored to have her support and cannot wait to welcome her to Michigan next week.
Well, she's definitely better than some of the others. I guess I can go ahead and go with that. What's the name of that one, Matt? The one I called the crazy. She's supposed Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's just plain out nuts. She's plain out crazy.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard I can handle. Tulsi Gabbard actually does do a good job. Sean, that's for once I can actually agree with a tweet that come through there. Trying to find some. Yeah, she's leaving the Democratic Party too. I knew that there was something that popped up lately about her. I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, she's actually walking away from the party. The walkaway campaign still continues, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I got a song that just fits for CNN.
You can read that one.
He says, if Tulsa and Marjorie were waking up in the covers next to me and getting their reading glasses mixed up on the nightstand, well, giggity. You sick little man. That just fits.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said.
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
You fat-armed it again.
Yeah, I fat-armed the damn keyboard and killed the audio again. I'm still refraining from that one story. I'm trying to hold back. Because there should be some other people at the top of the hour showing up with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really, really don't want to get into that just yet because this is going to probably be interesting. And Sean, we're talking about one of the books. One of the books that you mentioned. Let me see. Did you get the Fox News one?
Is that the one? Is that in Ohio?
Yeah.
No, mine is from the Police Tribune.
Okay.
That's what I pulled up.
Well, I want you to lead off on it, okay? Because yours is going to be different, just slightly different than mine.
Okay. Video. Administrators let masked, armed gunmen into high school to protect them, wait for it, from the police. The administrators let them in.
They came to shoot up a school, and they allowed them into the foyer, right?
Mm-hmm. Cleveland, Ohio. Administrators at a high school in Cleveland have some serious explaining to do after video and audio recordings showed that they let 4 armed masked teens into the school building last month while classes were in session because they were trying to protect the suspects from the police outside. Police said the incident occurred on September 14th at Garrett Morgan High School in the 4600 block of Detroit Avenue on the west side of Cleveland. School security officer saw the teens pull up to the high school in 3 cars and get out wearing masks and carrying guns. Police said the cars the teens arrived in were stolen. Security officer called 911 and the school was placed into lockdown. Audio recordings of the 911 call showed the security officer was yelling at someone not to let the armed teens into the school. Do not let them in the building, the security officer yelled. Do not let anybody through that door, people. The call taker asked the security officer whether the armed teens were approaching the front or the back of the school building. And that was on the recording.
Yeah.
The security officer can be heard in the background screaming repeatedly for others not to let the armed teens in the building. Security officer told 911 that suspects were inside the high school building. On the recording, the security officer said they're inside the building. They're in the outer part. Security officer was referring to a locked, glass-walled vestibule at the school's entrance. The dispatcher asked in an incredulous voice, they got in the building. The dispatcher ordered the security officer to keep the school locked down. Witness told police that 2 assistant principals from leadership let the males into the building.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Another witness told detectives that they can confirm that the interior doors were locked and instructed the 4 suspects to come to the vestibule because it was unsafe to be outside because they saw police officers.
They were wearing masks and walking into a school with fucking guns.
Yeah.
And it's unsafe for the assailants because of the police. It should be unsafe for them because of the police.
When police officer entered the vestibule and ordered the suspects out of the building, in which they replied, "What are we being detained for?" And then they all ran in different directions.
Of course they did.
Mm-hmm. Because they're innocent. Jesus. There was a prolonged foot chase, and officers ultimately caught up with and detained 3 of the 4 suspects. Police recovered 2 guns on 3 of the suspects that were taken into custody. The fourth one has not been apprehended.
But all the vehicles were stolen as well. You don't approach a school with masks on and guns for no reason.
Right.
They were there to do something bad. They couldn't get in, at least into the main part of the school. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's just out fucking standing.
And you know what's really interesting about this? Where was it on the news?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Where was it on the news? There's a reason why it wasn't on the news.
Holy shit. It gets better.
Keep going.
The Cleveland Metropolitan School District released a statement defending the high school principals. The statement, let's see what we got here. It says, as one of the witness statements indicates, the males entered a controlled, secure area that is specifically designed to prevent access to the rest of the building. Cleveland police had already arrived on scene and were able to make arrests. The staff member made a split-second decision that the individual thought was the best way to keep students and staff safe.
By letting them in the first tier of defense.
Mm-hmm.
What if they shot the door?
Right. Jeez.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all that is on. And apparently, body cam footage can be seen on YouTube.
Yeah, the security officer had something to say about this too. He said, "You just let them one step closer in. The goal is to keep students away from harm. You let the bad guy, especially that you know they're the bad guy, get closer into your school, into your building." Records show one of the teens arrested had a warrant out for him for a robbery case. They drove up in 3 stolen vehicles.
So, like, you know, and that security officer has probably he may have a different protocol, but I'm sorry, he should have, like, dropped the phone and either hit or shot the assistant principals because they were putting students in danger.
Yeah. Oh, I probably would have been tossing hands.
Yeah.
They would have been handcuffed.
Should have been pulling them away from the door to keep that from happening. Jeez.
Well, of course, Sean, it's the first you've heard because the news isn't showing it.
Mm-hmm.
You figured this would be front page type stuff, and it is not because of who the assailants were. That was it.
Yeah.
But there's no racial bias. Both of those assistant principals should be taken outside and strung up.
Yeah, they should be. Well, at least maybe all the parents should be thrown a shit fit, and they should be removed from their positions.
Oh, please no more Kinzinger. Sean says Kinzinger tweeted a picture of him campaigning for McMullen in Utah. Lee is leading him by 15 points.
Most important election of all time, just like the last one.
Yeah, right? Haven't we heard that for like the last decade or more?
Mm-hmm.
This is the most important election of all time. And of course, you know, earlier we were watching that clip of The View.
Oh, that was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was 6 minutes of complete non sequitur bullshit. And at the very end, it was the only thing that you know gave anything. Well, people should be worried because, you know, it's what was it, Joy Behar?
Mm-hmm.
Only 7% think that democracy is under threat. What's wrong with these people? Only 7%? And by the way, that supposed poll actually covered both Democrat and Republican.
Right. I'm sure it did.
I just don't understand why people don't understand that there's legitimate threats to the democracies and stuffs. I can't stand hearing that woman's voice. I don't know which one I can't stand more, her or fucking Whoopi.
Oh, right?
Seriously, let's cast a vote here. Out of the View, who is the most annoying? Is it Whoopi Goldberg or Joy Behar? I'll wait.
Cast your vote in the chat now. Sean said he's not seen a solid minute of it.
Well, we actually really try not to, but it happens.
We got to vote for both.
Yeah. Well, I know we got to vote for both, but it's got to be one or the other. Which one is the most annoying? Is it Joy Behar or Whoopi Goldberg? What's your vote, Matt?
Whoopi.
Whoopi?
Mm-hmm. Whoopi.
I'm going with Whoopi too.
Yeah, she annoys the ever living shit out of me.
Like when Michael Vick, got caught in a dogfighting ring. Now remember, he's from the deep south, and this is normal. Like motherfuckers he's like from the north. He's like from way north. Like, no, he's not. Right. Go ahead. If you got that.
Yeah, it says too bad Goldberg can't act more like some of her characters. They actually had more character than her. That's some good truth there.
Yeah, I can go with that. Well, while we're waiting for the other people to join us, because we don't want to start this other audio clip without them, I think we should just go ahead and take a break.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we'll do that.
This is Wayland from A Killer's Confession, so pay attention. You're listening to Brandon and Matt on the Machine Radio Show.
I used to be alive and connected. Now I'm just a bit of rejection. Always had a rhyme or a reason. Now I'm just cold, yeah, I'm freezing. It's hard to keep warm when you're empty. I'm waiting for the world to forget me. Tired of the self-isolation. Trying, but there's no motivation. I'm trapped inside. Time is funky in my mind. Truth hides within the lies, and it will decide when it's over. Hate is down what I create, while laughing in my face, and it will decide when it's over. I'm all alone in a room full of people, and in the middle and no one can see you. I am the voice, the vengeance of pain. As long as I'm here, this voice will remain. I'm all alone in a room full of people, and in the middle and no one can see you. I am the voice, the vengeance of pain. As long as I'm here, this voice will remain. Do I accept the fate I carry on? I know there's no way out. I'm trapped inside. Time is funky in my mind. Truth hides within the lies, and it will decide when it's over. Hate is down what I create, while laughing in my face, and it will decide when it's over. I'm trapped inside.
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm gonna need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And we're back, and it doesn't look like everybody's joined us yet.
Yeah.
I really want to get to that, though. Because I think it's going to be a good one. I hope. Yep, usually about this time, a whole group of people decide to join us, but I don't think they're going to tonight, so we're just going to get moving. Now, we've heard of some pretty messed up things going into schools nowadays, you know, book-wise and stuff like that. And, of course, remember that it's the Republicans that are supposedly burning books now, but they don't ask what books they're burning. It was the left that wanted to, you know, remove Dr. Seuss and To Kill a Mockingbird and the Holy Bible and all this other stuff. They wanted to move all these from school. They don't remember that, but they remember that the Republicans are throwing a fit about certain books, and this being one of them. And me and Matt listened to this. We listened to it, what, 2 and 3 times?
Yeah.
Because we're like, there's no way this is fucking real. There's no way this shit's real.
Have books after book after book after book. This at the junior high. This book contains sexually explicit assault and battery. I hesitate to read it. I don't feel comfortable reading it to adults, 13-year-olds. can check this book out. And you guys have bought it for him and provided it for him. And it needs to be corrected ASAP. Are you going to eat her pussy? Yeah, Earl, I'm going to eat her pussy. Do you even know how to eat pussy? No, not really. Papa Gaines never sat you down and said, son, one day you're going to have to eat the pussy. No, but he taught me how to eat a butthole. Yep, I would teach you some pussy eating technique.
You're jerking your dick like a goddamn pilgrim.
But it's a little complicated. Son, I don't have time for that. I got 20 pussies over here I need to eat. Is that right? I'm on a pussy deadline. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. There are 79 fucks in this book. 79. 51 shits, 11 dicks, 15 pussies, and 9 goddams, and the list goes on. And you guys need to fix it.
Thank you.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is an actual book that is in a fucking junior high. But they wonder why we want certain books removed from schools.
Mm.
I almost want to listen to that again.
I am thoroughly impressed. This gentleman counted how many times certain words were in this book.
Not just the words, the fact that he read that. I mean, I don't, you know what? I like fucking with people, and even I would have had an issue trying to read that. I think I would have. I'd have been like, I don't know what to do. It's this bad.
Sean says, imagine sitting at the boardroom table. Those people should be ashamed. Yeah, they should be, but let's face it, they're more than likely not.
No, they're just,
I mean, we're living in a day and age that
they're useless.
Yeah. It doesn't. A lot of things don't phase people anymore.
No. They're completely useless.
Mm-hmm.
You're about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop.
They probably got taught about that too. But I mean, like JT said, JT's got a point here. He says, "What the fuck? They read about tossing salads."
Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, I want the people removed that allowed it to happen. Absolutely. All of us do. But this is becoming commonplace. But here we're told that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as grooming. They're not teaching sex education to 5-year-olds and stuff like that. And then you find stuff like this. Well, remember, JT says the morally bankrupt are the enemy. But here's the thing. They say that we're the morally bankrupt because we don't allow this charade of insanity with all these pronouns and stuff like that to continue on. We don't allow books like this to be read in schools, so we're considered the morally deficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
ASAP.
I'm actually trying to back it up because I want to hear that part again.
I hesitate to read it.
I want to hear it again.
I don't feel comfortable reading it to adults. 13-year-olds can check this book out. And you guys have bought it for them and provided it for them. And it needs to be corrected ASAP. Are you going to eat her pussy? Yeah, Earl, I'm going to eat her pussy. Do you even know how to eat pussy? No, not really. Papa Gaines never sat you down and said, son, one day you're going to have to eat the pussy. No, but he taught me how to eat a butthole.
Right there, as soon as he said that, I'm like, what? Doesn't that sound like maybe some sexual stuff was going on with the?
That's what went through my mind.
Is this shit like moral oral?
Right.
You remember the cartoon Moral Oral?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what the cartoon Moral Oral is, basically every time Oral gets in trouble, he's got to go to his dad's study. Yeah, if you watch the cartoon, you'd get the joke real quick. It's not a good thing. He's basically getting molested each time he gets in trouble. Oh, Sean, I know we heard this bit. I just wanted to hear it again. I'm only playing it again for giggles of sorts. But I can't believe this stuff is allowed to go on. Yeah, JT says the sentence is incestuous child abuse. He's like, well, he didn't tell me about pussy, but he said, told me, he shot me how to eat a butthole. That's as soon as that guy said, I paused. I'm like, what? As if it wasn't bad enough, they had to add that little tidbit in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's worse than the people allowing this shit is the people that write this shit.
Mm-hmm.
What are your guys' thoughts about this one? I know JT's, and I'm pretty sure Sean's probably a little perturbed as well. I know me and Matt are just kind of flustered because we've heard of some fucked up shit going on in schools now, but this one's above and beyond what we've heard of. Well, that's one thing I can't say. He says the companies that publish it are just as guilty. Not actually.
They don't. It's kind of that's kind of like saying that it's the gun manufacturer's fault that somebody shoots somebody.
Yeah, they're there to publish content. They're not there to censor it.
Yeah, they're not there to say, hey, you guys need to stick this in junior high. They're just publishing the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. Man, I don't know where to come back from this one. I mean, what, I mean, like I said, JT's already said a few things, but I want to know what you guys think should actually be done and what you think about this. I know it's terrifying to us that children are actually being subjected to this kind of shit, especially when they're at the young impressionable age, 12, 13 years old.
So how did this come out? Did a kid check it out and bring the book home, or?
It is, I assume so. Somebody had to have been alerted. It wasn't an administrator who said, well, I'm going to leak this to a parent and make the parent come in and do this. I doubt it. His kid probably brought it home.
Yeah.
Oh, they pulled 2 books. Let's see. I'm trying. I found another. Let's see. It doesn't say when this was. Well, this was from September. That's not it. Porn disguised as education. Yeah, see, this is all popping up over. That was back in the day. Holy shit. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to get into all that. That's crazy. I need to look up that particular audio bite again and find out where this was exactly at, and find out if there's anything that's actually been done. But so far, I mean, as the time I found the audio, there was nothing done. Oh, crap. This was this was Cleveland, but which school was it? No, this one wasn't Cleveland. Shit, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have it. I must have just pulled the audio and then shut the page. It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just thinking that, you know, that the kids are getting subjected to this stuff nowadays, and it's actually, like, I guess you'd call it the new normal. I got nothing. I'm actually trying to find where I even got the audio from. Yeah, I don't even remember where I got the audio from, so sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, I got nothing else on that. I really don't, and I don't want to continue with it. I think we've already kind of made that clear, haven't we? Oops. Oh, there we go. Try and find a song for break. Just can't find anything. I'll play this. Hey, this is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. If you are anything like me, then you love having plenty of horsepower to play around with. That is why I recommend visiting NCP Speed Machine in Taylorville. NCP offers many services such as performance engine builds, automotive machine, specialty car repair, performance parts, and dyno services. If you want a great reliable stock rebuild or enough horsepower to make your pants tight and your face crack with a smile, then NCP Speed Machine is your place to go. You can give them a call at 217-825-8249 or stop in and say hello. NCP is located at 110 North Webster Street in Taylorville, Illinois. Tell them Brandon from the Machine Radio Show sent you. And we're back. We really don't have much else to go through, actually. The only other thing I was wanting to bring up is these weird protests that are going on over in the UK about climate. Yeah, seriously. There's been some weird shit going on. One guy took a bug sprayer, and I don't know if it was full of like Campbell's soup or if it was full of paint or something like that. But went to a car dealership and just started spraying the walls with it and everything, saying, talking about how oil is evil. He's using a bug sprayer that's predominantly made of oil product. But you had these weird, and why is it always? I don't like to. I guess label how people look, you know what I mean? But come on. You see, you're getting what I'm joking about, purple hair. Why is it always the purple hair ones that seem to be the most psychotic? I'm going to be honest with you. That's just what it seems to be coming to. But they damaged it's in glass, so I don't know if they actually got anything on the painting. But they damaged a classic work of art because it's an oil painting. And then they super glued their hands to the wall. I didn't have the audio for this, but I can get it.
Or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis. Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
They can't afford a tin of soup, but you threw one on a painting. Don't you think you could have donated that to somebody? Huh? Maybe?
Things that make you go,
Yeah, this one I'm looking up. Because I'm trying to remember which painting. Vincent van Gogh. It was Van Gogh.
I was going to say, this is a painting that was done, hundreds of years ago?
Yeah.
So what the fuck has this painting got to do with anything going on now?
Oh. They're already in court.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably won't fuck around with them.
Yeah, it says the climate activist who threw soup on over Vincent van Gogh's famous sunflowers painting appeared in London court on charges of criminal damages. The two, that's a woman? I thought that was a dude.
I thought it was a guy, too.
The two women were protesting as part of the campaign group Just Stop Oil, and they pleaded not guilty at the Westminster Magistrates Court during two brief hearings. The climate activist who threw soup over Vincent van Gogh's famous sunflowers. We already heard that part. Yeah, that part too. I hate it. Why did they repeat it? After dumping 2 cans of tomato soup over the Van Gogh oil painting Friday, the protesters also glued themselves to the gallery wall. They were removed by specialists and taken into custody. A spokesman for the National Gallery confirmed that there was no damage to the painting, which is one of the iconic versions of sunflowers that Van Gogh painted in the late 1880s. It was estimated value at over $80 million. Could you imagine if one fucking drop of soup would have got on that painting? There is some minor damage to the frame, but the painting isn't hardened. The spokesman told CNBC. The painting was covered by glass and it was cleaned and returned to the National Gallery Friday afternoon. Just Stop Oil has been protesting in London for the last 2 weeks, and the group said in a press release that its actions were in response to the government's inaction on both cost of living crisis and climate crisis. What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food, worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting over the protection of our planet and people? The activist was heard to say. Just Stop Oil has received widespread criticism for its environmental groups and politicians opposing Labour Party following the protests. But this is popping up everywhere. Like I said, one guy was spraying shit all over a car dealership. There was another one that, where were they at? I think it was a fuel station or whatever, and they went nuts. In here, I thought like PETA and stuff like that was weird.
You know what's interesting about this is, I wonder how many of these people actually own cell phones.
Well, they were videotaping it on a cell phone.
I bet they own numerous items made out of plastic. You know where I'm going. You guys don't know where I'm going with this, right? It's all made from oil. It's kind of very hypocritical of them.
It is in a major way, and like I said, like even the bug spray the kid was holding was predominantly made of petroleum.
Mm-hmm.
Petroleum products. His clothes, petroleum products. His shoes, petroleum products. The irony of them gluing themselves to the walls, they used a petroleum product to do so.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm going to try and... Let's see if it's... Yeah, Just Stop Oil spray painted Harrods, orange and block roads. Wow. Yeah, that's the car. I think that's the car dealership. More than a dozen activists in custody after protesters at a department store in London. No, that's the department store. Look at it. See the photo?
Oh, jeez.
There it is. Just Stop Oil supporters spray paint over Aston Martin showroom. And look at that.
The fuck is that?
That's the protester.
Mother of God.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it seems to be the same group. This is a dude wearing a multicolored crop top, a blue zip-up hoodie, and a red long skirt with what looks like brown work boots.
Yeah, they're either brown work boots or like hiking boots. Can't tell.
Oh, boy. And I remember watching a video of him, too, because people were... Why don't people stop people from doing stupid shit? Seriously. I think anybody, the people that were taping this guy or walking by and saying something to him should just stop and beat the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the rules in London are probably different. Here, they'd probably give you a pass. There, they're like, well, he was just protesting and you beat him. Well, he was damaging property. And nobody was stopping him. Just that picture. I mean, seriously, that's gold. Or orange. I'm actually saving that photo and putting it on the
quite disturbing.
Come on, let me do it. I actually posted the photo of the protester on the machine Facebook. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, they haven't resorted to burning things down yet, but, you know, they'd have to use petroleum products to do that, too. Idiots. Just plain idiots. Yep, I got nothing on that. I think that, yeah. I don't know what else to say. There's nothing else I can say on that. And actually, I don't think we have anything else, do we? It was actually kind of a slow news cycle. It's kind of pleasant for once.
Yeah. It was very slow.
I mean, aside from the press secretary saying that people were saving millions of dollars at the pump already. And, you know, the president playing off inflation.
Yeah.
Which wasn't working very well. Well, I did want to briefly mention that you know, they were blaming the Republicans for blocking the or not voting for the Inflation Reduction Act because it's only the Inflation Reduction Act in name only.
Mm-hmm.
It was a climate change bill.
Yeah, it was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Well, it's supposed to help, you know, cut down Medicare costs or whatever else. Bullshit. And that's yeah. If you want a Medicare bill, put a Medicare bill. If you want a climate bill, I think you're an idiot, but make a climate bill. But don't try and stab it into these other bills that it has no bearing on and hope it'll pass and wonder why it won't pass. That's just
that's one of the things that I don't quite understand, why there's nothing in place. And when a bill's created, that only that information is supposed to go in that bill, not other shit that doesn't even pertain to it. I don't get that. I don't understand why there's no rules or in place for that.
yeah, I know. That's kind of the pork spending just gets a pass every time, it seems. And I don't give a shit which party's doing it. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's a fucking Republican Party or a Democrat Party, whatever. It doesn't need to be done. If you want something that's supposed to be for a bill, make it a bill, but don't put it against something that it has nothing to do with.
Right.
And then try and blame the other side for not advancing the bill. Well, it's obvious why they wouldn't want to advance the bill. Because it has nothing to do with what its namesake is.
Yeah, then that just ends up going into a smear campaign. Well, they wouldn't pass this bill that was meant to help you.
And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're literally doing that right now. But anyhow, I think that's it. And I think we're kind of done for the night. Both of us have had a long day.
Yeah.
Apparently one of us more so than the other, but I'm not going to mention what that's about. But anyhow, I think we are done for the night. So I'd like to thank everybody once again for joining us, and we are going to take off.
Yeah, that we are.
So we will see you guys later.
You guys have a good week.
See ya.